relationships, drama, philosophy. Relationships, drama, philosophy.
Welcome to the Yalla Habibi podcast. If you're craving more adventure in life, whether to live it vicariously through us or get ideas to spark your own, this is the podcast for you. I'm Scott.
And I'm Shelby.
And we are a couple exploring life, sharing our ups and downs of figuring it all out. Whether it's our travel stories, relationship goals, tough moments, or philosophical conversations, it is never a dull episode. Join us on this spinning rock we call Earth as we figure it out together. To all our new listeners, welcome. And to everyone else, welcome back. And before we do jump in, remember to smash the like button. It helps a lot. Give a karate chop to the subscribe. Drop 5 stars on the podcast like a rebel. And share the episode by setting off fireworks in your backyard. It really does go a long way. We're a small podcast. All of these help massively. And finally, do head over to our TikTok to catch the best bits from today's episode. And if you are joining us for the first time, you can always go back there and see all our favourite moments from our episodes. And to all our new listeners, Shelby is our resident lexicographer and etymologist, also known on this podcast as the countdown legend, Susie Dent.
That would be me.
That would be you, yeah. Today, we're going to... it's part 2 to pet hates, because we've got so many. And to be honest, I think we could do 4 parts to this. But,
I think so.
But I think let's just get out as many as we can in part 2, and I think we'll carry on with other episodes from there.
Sure.
But honestly, we could do probably about a 4-part series on how much we hate things in life.
I think we could.
So... we talked about all sorts last time. Everyone struggles with pet hates. Well, everyone has hates in life, right? I think you've just got to be mindful of how much energy you put to them and how long you're going to sit with them, because obviously pet hates are usually quite petty. They're quite small things. They're not things that are going to disrupt your life in a gravitas way. So we're going to share these, but try and not waste too much energy on them in the same time.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for that contribution. So for number 1 for me, or one of the many, is one that you experienced recently. And this happens less in the UK, more in other countries. Where would it happen more? A lot less in Europe, I would say. But in Central South America, you're more like the East Asia area. A lot of this happens a lot because they see a white man, a white woman go into a shop and they think you're a millionaire, and therefore they decide the best thing to do is to follow you everywhere in the shop, even though you don't ask for a personal assistant or a personal shopper or any support. They see you, they stare at you as soon as you come in, and they glue themselves to you. And wherever you go, they go, and they will pick things up before you do and try to tell you about them and stuff. And it's just so invasive, and I just want to punch them every time.
It is extremely frustrating. Like, you feel like... I do think it happens sometimes in the UK, but quite rarely. There are particular shops that I think are known for it, such as, like, Lush, which I do love Lush. But they are like, it's part of their customer service, like, training. They basically find a customer and follow them, become their best friend.
Oh, that's hilarious. I must say, they do it in a more pleasant way.
Yeah, for sure. So that, like, I think there are certain circumstances in which it's not too bad. But yeah, there's like this specific example I think you're referring to is in Skechers in Shanghai.
That was the most recent one.
That was the most recent one, yeah. But that was quite intense, where the woman was like, what do you want? What are you looking for? I'm going to get you this. What size? Tell me size. Tell me size. Tell me size. Like, in your face, like, I couldn't look at a single shoe. I'll get you it. What size?
Yeah.
And I'll say, no, it's okay, thank you.
She was the most intense version of this.
Yeah.
If you were to show an example of this at its worst, she embodied that.
For sure.
She was so intense. I thought she was going to start a fight with us if we didn't answer her. And that was round 2 when I came in. Round 1 was Shelby went in on her own. Shelby found it so overwhelming. She couldn't, even though she found shoes she liked, she left.
Yeah.
And then called me for backup. Said, I like the shoes in there, but there's such an intense woman that will not get off my shoulder. I need your spot. And I lost it with her. Well, luckily she spoke another language, so she didn't really know everything I said. But I wasn't foul to her, but I was ready to tell her to F off.
And to be my human barricade while
Yeah.
I thought about it in peace.
Yeah, I made it clear. I didn't realize how intense she was going to be because I've dealt with these all the time. I'll be like, look, I'll just stay it straight. I say, look, we're happy. Usually if you just say to them, look, we're happy to look at it. We just want to look at things. We'll come to you. That happens. That works about 30%, maybe 40% of the time. The more sternness, would be like, okay, please just leave us. That maybe works 70% of the time. Then 30% of the time, no matter what you say, they just stay there.
Yeah.
They just don't get it. Like, even if you sternly say, look, you're irritating us, leave. We've been in many situations where they just think that's not what you want. And then they actually increase their activity with you. And you're like, what? You're making this so much worse.
Yeah.
I want to buy something. I can understand it in like market shops. I can understand why. Because I think people are more likely to rob like little jewelry and stuff. So I can respect why in those sort of maybe like jewelry shops and I can understand it. But in like a shoe shop, dude, like, come on. What, I'm going to run off with a fucking size 14.
Yeah.
Just one size 14. Great. That's great, that is. So what's hilarious is she was hard to get rid of, but she eventually sort of faded off. I think she got fed up with us. And then you bought a great pair of shoes off her.
I did. And though I would say that she did end up helping us because I thought she was going in for a hard sell again. But there was some sort of deal on that if you bought, I think it was 3 items, you got 20% off or something. And so she was like, she picked up 2 multi-packs of socks and put them down and she was saying to me, discount. I was like, no, I don't need any socks. She was like, no, discount. And like pointing to the socks. I was like, yeah, but I don't, thank you. I'm just going to get the shoes. Like,
yeah.
But then she showed me, she was like, look, okay, this, no socks, this cost. Then she scanned the socks and the entire cost was less. She's like, with socks. I was like,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. She was all business.
She was very much all business.
As much as she was irritating, she was all business. So, and it was a deal, wasn't it? But it didn't translate clearly. Yeah. All business.
Yeah.
Which actually I noticed true of, it was China where I got my shades, my running glass sunglasses. Well, we went to that museum that was closed.
I think that was in Shanghai.
That was Shanghai, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I've learned about China is they're not into, well, the shopping experiences that we experienced when we bought some items, which a pair of shoes and a pair of sunglasses were close to £100, a reasonably big purchase, is they don't engage in much like fun talk. Like, so it's just like, what do you want? If you ask me what you want, I'm going to show you the best. There's no any questions you ask, I'm going to still pretty much point you to the same one. Like I was asking so many questions in this glasses shop and she was like, look, that's the one. She's like, it doesn't matter what you ask me. You give me your requirement, that is the one. And it's a little bit irritating. It's less, I don't know. It's obviously how they conduct business, but I respect it. It's just something funny that I noticed in China. But both times we purchased,
Yeah.
I felt confident with them. They knew their stuff. It's just a different type of customer service.
Yeah, for sure. And just as a side note, I've been in Skechers today and bought 2 new pairs of shoes in the UK and I love them.
You do. Your new pair of Skechers are beautiful.
I'm even wearing them right now.
You are. You are lying on the bed right now with your shoes on, which is strange. Have you got a pet hate?
Well, I mean, I've got multiple. I suppose I'm trying to think if there's one that's related to that. It's not strictly speaking related, but I've put 2 things on my list and they're opposing things. One is...
And make sure it's not from last episode.
It's not from last episode. Yeah. Because that was man spreading and something else. But I would say that there are 2 things that really irritate me. That's people talking quietly and people talking loudly.
Oh, well, I tick both of them.
You do? Well, no, mostly you tick the quietly one. That's...
No, well, it's funny because a lot of people say I talk too loud. I'm no middle ground.
You laugh extremely loudly.
Yeah.
You can hear you like down the streets.
I'm not a middle ground talk person. I'm either, if I need to talk quietly, or I either talk too quietly or I talk too loud. I get told off more throughout my life. I've been told off for talking too loud. There's no sort of middle volume from me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, so what? And this isn't facts. This is only my perception. Obviously, you talk at a volume you're comfortable with, but Scott will say something, and it'll be
No,
it'll be
no.
like just sounds, a collection of sounds. So if you didn't know what I just said there, I didn't say anything. That's kind of the point. And like we watched a film the other night, weren't we? And we couldn't make out what the guy was saying. I was like, that's exactly what you sound like to me. Like
Yeah.
50% of the day.
Oh shit!
Because-
I'm not 50%.
No, but what Scott will do? Sorry, it shouldn't be a pet hate about you. It's not.
Well, I don't worry. I'm teeing one up about you in a minute. I wasn't planning to take shots, but you've made it that, so one's coming.
No, see, it's just because the other person I spend the most time with.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it irritates me when people muffle talk or say stuff under the breath or say stuff from another room while they've got the telly on, you've got a microwave going, and this isn't just you, this is like people in general in life, and just expect you to either, one, drop everything and go and talk to them, or just be able to hear them from the other room as they whisper to you.
Yeah. The person I've been on the receipt on the end of the speaker. Yeah, it is. You always get angry at someone not hearing you, even when you logically think about it. Go, they are upstairs and I've got the TV on, like, be like, oh, why can't they hear me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just shouting at the top of my voice.
Yeah, you're like, I could hear it.
Yeah, I could hear it, right? But logically, yeah. No, I don't know when I speak quietly. I don't think it's throughout the day. I think maybe it's later at night, or if I'm in a type of mood, not in a bad mood necessarily. Maybe I'm just in a very zen, very chill Sunday mood, and I just don't feel like raising my voice to maybe a different level. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And sometimes, I feel really bad about it as well, because like sometimes it'll be like late at night and you're whispering something really sweet to me.
Oh yeah,
And I'll look at you and I go, hey.
yeah.
What?
No, I've learned not to do that anymore. Anything when Shelby is going to, once you're in bed, we can still converse. I know that, but once Shelby has made it clear through either vocally saying it, which I prefer because it's more clear to me. I don't like to infer things. Men are rubbish at that. And when you vocally say, I'm now going to sleep, at that point, I must stop all conversation. I know to no more engage with you in any way. Do not touch, do not speak, do not breathe. Just... and that's okay.
Because it's a switch with me. It's a switch.
Yes,
that
it's a
gets
switch,
flipped.
yeah.
It's not I feel like with you, you're quite gradual, and you can be easily persuaded out of
Yeah.
going to sleep mode.
Yeah, I can go in and out and then...
Something happened, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can sort of go in and out, and even in the middle of the night, you'd be cool with having a conversation and going back to sleep.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
I'm like, once that switch has been flicked to, I'm now in the process of going to sleep, sleeping through until morning.
Yeah.
Anything that disrupts, even if I get up to the toilet in the night, if you would start talking to me, I'd get quite upset.
Yeah.
about
No, you can...
You've
I
done
don't-
so well.
See, I don't do it anymore, yeah.
You don't. We had, early on in our relationship, we had to sit down and talk about it, didn't we?
We did. I didn't see, again, you don't realise these things would do. You might have not experienced it where someone else has been irritated by that before. You might just not even consider that could be an irritation.
Yeah.
But everyone gets irritated by different things. So there we go. That's one on me. Well,
It's not you. It's not just
the
you.
thing is, I didn't create anything on you.
I didn't mean it didn't to be about.
But the only one, go on.
I was going to say, because that isn't like anyone who's talking quietly or anyone who's talking too loudly, like on a train or whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, the only one I've got that would even remotely refer to you, but it's everyone, which is such a personal thing. It's I bet this is something that I'll say and most people will be like, what, why? But it irritates me. Come in, I haven't told you this, but it's not a big thing. But when people come into the house and they announce themselves to you, and they won't stop until they get hello back. That is such a pain for me. Like,
It's like a false game of Marco Polo.
it's literally, it's like, you were here 10 minutes ago, you've gone to the supermarket, I'm working in the bedroom, and you'll be like, hello? And then what it becomes is like that person who said hello, when they don't get it back, like, is anyone here? But yes, I'm here. Scott might not be here. Scott here. It's Scott here. Yes, I'm here. I'm just working. I don't need to engage. So again, I think that's quite a personal thing. My mum does it. She won't. She needs acknowledgement as well. And if I don't, she would open the door to my bedroom and go, "Oh, hi, how are you? I'm home." Just to let you know. Like for me, I don't need to know you're home. I don't need to know you're home. You don't need to know I'm home. If it's something where we need to come together, deal with a problem, or you need to ask me a question, then you go up into the room, see me. If I'm not there, then call me. Anyway, I think it's a very individual thing. I don't expect people to change it, but it grates me.
No, and in so my routine in my house is that if we were to leave, we also have to make that announcement. So like if I'm going to the shop, I'd shout to Mum, "I'm going, love you, bye," and she'd go, "Bye, love you," and we do it in that order. So if it's love you, bye, the other one says bye, love you.
Oh, what? Is this planned or is it just?
No, it's a bit like our accidental version of nice to see you, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so like if I was to say bye, love you, then Mum would say love you, bye. But if I said love you, bye, she'd say bye, love you.
Right, okay.
When we leave the house. So
yeah.
Similar to arriving.
Yeah.
But it's shouting to let someone know that you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you may have noticed the minute we hit record, my dad rang me, presumably to tell me who's leaving.
You were down there.
Been down there.
You've been down there for like half an hour with him, and he's calling you to say, "Oh, I'm now leaving the kitchen, my darling. I'll see you tomorrow."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's different. It's just something that is just a pet hate I have.
Well, my final one for today, and it's certainly not an exhaustive list that we've created here. There's many more things we could say. Something that particularly bothers me is when... Oh, see, it's not going to be a quick one. I'll be as quick as I can. When people tell me being a vegan, they'll say, "Oh, I only eat organic, grass-fed, local meat from a local butcher. I actually know the farmer, you see.
Oh, yeah.
And I only eat it, really rarely do I eat meat. Once a week, maybe twice. I mean, apart from obviously if it's a celebration. But basically, I'd say I'm 90% vegetarian.
90%. Okay. I'm following their logic.
And what? You are or you're not. You can't be.
No, you can't be
human.
Are they saying that for 90% of the year they are vegetarian and the other 10% they'd be
something to that effect? Like
yeah, I can understand how they've logically presented that, but that is infuriating as a vegan or vegetarian who commits to this.
Everybody, like so many, I can't tell you the amount of times people tell me that, and they think that it's a unique. Well, I'm not like other meat eaters because I'm like, oh dear, interesting.
Yeah.
Do you only eat your meat from your local farmer that you know that's been ethically raised and lived until old age and
That's full of shit.
Well, of course they're full of shit. Maybe they believe it themselves, I don't know, but it just irritates me because I'm like, why are you justifying murder?
Yeah, so what they're saying there, right, is, okay, on one hand, I don't care about the ethically sourced, right? So in that side, the farmers, the growers, the producers aren't being paid fairly, okay, bad. And secondly, the animals are being processed through from birth to on the table much quickly in a much more efficient rate, which basically means they don't see light. If I'm talking about a chicken, they would just be in a, what do you call, a barn, whatever, and they would force feed them. They would grow really quickly and then they would kill them and eat them. So that's that one. But the side they're arguing is they do get ethically sourced meat. So the only difference there is that chicken, it will see the outside and they just might not force feed it as much because they force feed it with a particular nutrient which makes them grow really fat really quickly, so you can just get on with it. But the only difference is that chicken is going to get a bit more outside. It's not going to have that nutrient, and hopefully the producers, they'll be paid fairly. So tick, tick, tick. But the reality is that chicken is still going to be decapitated before its life would eventually have ended if it had a fruitful life, and it's going to end up on your plate. So
mostly in the bin, if
yeah,
you're honest. Like,
so
people eat part of it and then chuck the rest of the carcass away.
Exactly. So if you break that down to your kid getting kidnapped, right? Either way, at the end of it, your kid's dead. But are you going to be more thankful that they allowed them to
Took them to Disney for the day.
took them
first.
to Disney to the day for the first, allowed them to live outside, live a normal life. But at the end of the day, they killed your kid. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like. I think when you really look at it, it's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, when you break it down logically, it is nonsensical. But people love to tell me how ethical they are in their meat eating. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
No such thing.
No, I am with you. And even ones people who used to be a vegetarian and then they chose, which I'm not against people choosing whatever diet, but if they say, "Oh, well, I was vegetarian for 10 years, but now I eat fish or whatever," like, but I'm still really ethical. That kind of would irritate me. I'd be like, if you're such a staunch ethical person, then animals is going to be at the top of that list.
Yeah, I kind of don't trust people that would. Because in some respects, meat eaters, I can kind of think, well, they just haven't made that ethical connection. They don't fully grasp the impact that eating meat has, that it's cause and effect, it's supply and demand. You eat meat, therefore an animal has to die, so therefore you are responsible for that animal dying. I think a lot of meat eaters don't make that connection. But when someone goes as far as, let's say, vegan, I think if you've gone vegan and you've been the blooming card-holding vocal on social media, you've been telling everyone that they should be vegan. I know somebody like this. And then you go back on that and start eating
I
meat.
know this person, yeah.
That I kind of think, what's wrong with you? Like you've seen the corruption, you've understood the corruption, you've been against it, you've told other people not to do that, and now suddenly, well, it's not an issue anymore. Like you just don't trust that person's judgment so much.
Yeah, from an ethical point of view, there's definitely questions there, isn't there?
Yeah,
There's definitely questions.
and there are reasons that people go back on being vegetarian, vegan, whatever else, but yeah,
I think the issue isn't what diet you choose, it's being quite vocal that you are all this ethical person, but at the end of the day, you are still killing animals quite freely on a weekly basis. So, yeah. So, I know we were going to say some quick fire ones. I will just do one final quick fire one, but we do need to move on, which I'll link them together, is Google Maps, right? You're smiling. Don't worry, this isn't going to affect you. But it does affect people, though. Google Maps, right? Guess what Google Maps does? Google Maps is our Lord and Savior when it comes to driving. It will tell you to get to any place in the world, okay? So if I want to go from A to B right now in my car, Shelby's car, then I will turn on Google Maps. Happy days, that works. There are some people in this world that don't believe Google Maps works, okay? Google Maps has never failed me, but there are some people in the world that are adamant it doesn't and will tell you to do opposite to Google Maps for the entire journey, and it fucking infuriates me because every time you end up getting lost or you end up just adding more time. Google literally says the way you're pointing right now is 5 minutes slower. I can see that. And that is based on data that is up to date, based on current accidents. I can see it, but you're adamant it's not. It infuriates me. The second arm to it is, sorry to my Google Map users, but people who use Google Maps with the voice on, you are the devil.
it's for anyone who's not the driver, it's a nightmare, isn't it?
It infuriates. Because it's like every 15 to 30 seconds.
In 10 yards, turn left. In 5 yards, turn left. Turn left.
Yeah, turn left. And then once you've turned left, you need to go right at the roundabout, right? And it's just like, and then you'd think, oh, well, what about all these cool voices you can use now? You can get Darth Vader, you can get Mariah Carey. That's so exciting. It's not fun after about 5 minutes. It's the same 5 or 6 things they say for hours. It's really not fun.
Well, I did really like the Christina Aguilera one. I think we used that in Oman. And she'd be like, go straight ahead and keep on fighting, fighter.
Again, that was fun for about 10 minutes. But then it was like, I've heard that now for about the 15th, 20th time. Like, okay, turn it off.
It's fun.
Yeah. So there's my... We do have more.
We have so many more. I feel like we should do this. It's quite cathartic, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it does feel good. I don't know if people are listening, but it feels good to say it.
It does.
And let us know your pet hates. But we must move on, So we do want to keep to time. So it is time for Scott's WTF of the week. Every week the world gets a little weirder. Let's talk about the strangest thing that went down this week. Flying foxes.
Oh,
What do you think that means?
I've heard of a flying fox before. Is it a type of squirrel?
It's not, but I'm gonna somewhat give you that. It is something that, well, I don't know why.
Is it a small rodent that
Yes.
leaps between trees and stuff?
Not quite, no.
Okay.
You really like this rodent. I'll just get to it, but
Okay.
you really like this rodent. So residents of... Now, before I say this place,
It's exactly what you think it is.
just know that this is a place in Australia. I'm not saying a bad word or calling anyone this, okay? So residents of Gympie...
There's also something called the Gympie Turnpike.
The Gympie turn. Oh, that's rude. The Gympie. So, residents of Gympie are being overwhelmed by thousands of flying foxes. What is a flying fox, you might add? It's a large fruit bat.
Yes, they are massive, aren't they?
Yeah, they're quite big.
Like a meter.
Yeah.
I think.
Wow, are
They
they?
are. They are pretty big, yeah.
Wow. So look up large fruit bats, also known as the foxes of the sky. And what's basically happened is that they've set up an enormous urban colony near Gympie.
Ooh.
So what that basically means for the residents of Gympie, holy shit. Oh yeah, fuck that.
I just showed Scott an image. Next
I
to
mean-
a man, and it's like as big as him.
I mean, I've seen bats, I've been near bats, and they are actually surprisingly cute.
They're so look how cute they are.
I know they look, oh my god.
That's a man in a suit, isn't it?
That's a man in a... Whoa, I didn't know they were that big. Wow. Okay. I'll retract my statement for the Gympie bats. Those those ones are a bit scary. I don't think I'd be cool with coming face to face with those ones. But normal small bats, they're actually adorable. And watch them eat a watermelon. It's really cute.
Yeah.
But these mammoth bats, of course, the reality for the residents is screeching all day and night, which you can imagine a colony next to the... I bet you hear that.
Yeah.
Almost like when you hear crickets when you go abroad. They're overwhelming, the noise, right? Leave piles and piles of excrement everywhere.
I bet.
I bet it's just like horse-sized poo everywhere.
I think they go batshit crazy.
Yes, I bet they do. All of them. And naturally, they've devalued the property in the area and they're just making overall life really difficult. So, apparently, what's happened is they naturally roost in large colonies and will set up near food and water sources. And loss of native habit and fragmented forests, our fault, can push them closer to towns and suburbs where food and shelter are available year round. So, yeah, so that's why they've chosen Gympie as a home place. So yeah, the more I read this, the more I think that would actually be really crap for the residents.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they'd be really cute and cool to see, but I think you would feel like they were total nuisances.
Yeah. I think
What?
you really would.
I think Gympie is near Brisbane, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was, say, Queensland.
I've just got Gympie down here, but I'd have to check.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's near. I think the Gympie Turnpike is like the exit onto the motorway to go towards Gympie, something like that.
Ah, okay.
Oh, what an interesting story.
I thought it was a good one, that.
Yes, thank you for sharing. I love an Aussie story.
Love an Aussie story.
Well, I think it's time for Shelby's Good Vibes Only. Let's take a break from the chaos. Here's something to make you smile this week.
Shelby's Good Vibes Only.
This is something that's very close to home. So entrepreneurs in York and North Yorkshire, we're from Yorkshire, have basically been doing a bit of research. So the University of York has been researching into the disparity between men and women entrepreneurs and their opportunities. And they discovered that female-led businesses face huge gaps. So 23,000 fewer self-employed women than men, which I find...
That's quite large, isn't it?
It is, especially when you look at, like, I don't want to be like gender stereotyping, but there are a lot of independent. Oh, I would say that women's industries are just as prevalent as if you talk at like plumbers, builders, bricklayers, typically male dominated roles.
Man.
Yeah, of course, that's not always the case. And likewise, typically female roles such as hairdresser, nail salon,
Yeah.
therapies, all these kinds of things. I would have thought there would be very similar numbers.
Right.
Once you even it out, of course, you're
Gender
gonna have,
normative jobs.
yeah, and of course you're going to have people from the opposite gender to what you might expect in those industries. But I would have thought it would even out. But the fact there are 23,000 fewer self-employed women than men, I think is quite significant.
It is.
And for female entrepreneurs, only £62,000 were raised in equity compared to 3.8 million for men.
That I'm sorry, that's the worst out of all.
That's
shocking.
it's shocking, but arguably not that surprising.
I've met some killer young women entrepreneurs through my years.
Yeah.
So how that shocks me.
Yeah, that is wild. But on a positive side, there's been a coalition of entrepreneurs, researchers, and advocates led by the University of York, and it's something called Enterprise Works, and that is tackling these barriers head on. So local female entrepreneurs are offering mentorship, finance support, trying to close that gap. There's somebody called Lindsay Mitchison, who is the founder of NeoWalk, which is a company that came about from her personal challenge, where she's made a thriving business creating colourful custom walking sticks that ship worldwide. Also working towards removing systematic barriers that could create 165,000 jobs and add 2.6 billion to the regional economy and unlock 250 billion in national revenue if we were to close that gap and female entrepreneurs were to be on par with male entrepreneurs. So one of the professors at the University of York said that they've reached a tipping point with stakeholders aligned to help women-led businesses thrive. So hopefully, I think they're even doing initiatives in schools to promote
I
young
hope
girls
so.
to become entrepreneurs. Because I think if you were to, a bit like when they ask kids to draw a doctor, they're more likely to draw a male doctor. That is shifting actually in like recent studies.
Oh, good.
More likely to. It's more likely to be even. But I think equally, if you say the word entrepreneur, I think most people are going to think of somebody like, what's the guy?
Andrew Tate.
Ew, no.
That's why.
I'm going to remove his name from the podcast. What's his Virgin Atlantic? What's he called?
Russell Brand.
Jesus Christ, you're just saying all the things. Okay, let's reset. So people like Richard Branson, Alan Sugar, I think, typically you picture this male entrepreneur. I think with Dragon's Den having some female dragons on it, that is helping shift that. But, yeah. Hopefully we're going to see more female entrepreneurs.
100%, yeah, I hope so. I know, there are a ton out there, there's no question. I don't do as much of the networking circuits these days, but in the years that I did networking, went through all my university, wow, there was some killer female entrepreneurs. So how those, there was so many cool business ideas. I was around and had some incredible females behind them. So it surprises me to hear that, these people are not getting the investment or the jobs, because honestly, it just surprises me.
Definitely. Well, who run the world? Everybody, not just men.
Yes, there we go. So we hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you do like today's episode, check out a couple of other episodes. EP50, Why Shelby Hates Her Birthday, Smart Chimps, and the Toaster Revolution Yellow Habibi podcast. That'll give you insight into other things that we don't like in life. So give that a go. But before we do get all swallowed up by the madness of day-to-day life, please can you do us a favour and smash the like button with a hammer, karate chop subscribe, drop 5 stars on the podcast like a rebel, and share the episode by setting off fireworks in your backyard. It really, really does go a long way for us. Another adventure wrapped up.
But the journey never ends.
Keep your bags packed for the next one. And remember, when in doubt, just say, Yalla Habibi. See you next time.